someone not read this?
It's a bit too big.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, so my talk's about the LeBroN stack, which is 3 technologies which you can combine, which are by default not combined, like there's no generator or something. And those 3 technologies are very helpful for creating web apps, web services, backend and frontend. So the first part is LevelDB. Who has heard of LevelDB? Okay, so LevelDB is a database library by Google. So it's not like MySQL server, but it's rather the heavy lifting C part behind a MySQL server, or like part of it. For example, React also can use LevelDB as a backend. You will see why that makes sense. Browserify, who has used Browserify? Okay, so Browserify lets you bundle your code that is written Node.js style for the browser. And the last part is NPM, which everyone has used, which is the package manager. Okay, so beer. So okay, I'm going to live code a little chat application with those 3 technologies. If I make mistakes, please shout out. Okay. First, let's create a server. I'm not going to use Express. Ha. Okay, who has done this before? That's not everyone. Okay, so we create a server, say response.end, hey, MNUG, server.listen 8000. Okay, so that's stuff. Big. Something's messed up on my system. Yeah, so that works. Okay, so let's first serve some HTML and let's create the Browserify bundle so we get started doing client-side stuff. For serving static files, you could, for example, use xstatic, but you could also use st or the connect thing or whatever. So we say var serve equals xstatic mounted in the public directory, which I'm about to create, and then serve the stuff. Make it here public. Index.html. Hi. Server. Call it. Cool. So we're serving HTML. But we really need a script tag. Public bundle.js. This is not valid HTML, as you probably have figured. So next we need to bundle in our JavaScript. We'll be writing our JavaScript inside browser.js, which will say hi first. Now to bundle Browserify stuff, there's multiple approaches, but I will just use makefiles because they're fast and simple and do everything. Make build. We could say, oh, and I already have all the modules installed. Browserify browser.js to public bundle.js. And that's, of course, a phony target. Make build. Okay. Start the server. I will make this bigger in a moment. Public. Let's see what's wrong here. Yeah, I know. The HTML is wrong. Because this is at /bundle, not public bundle. Okay, I'll make this bigger as well. Okay, so we have basic browserify in place, which is just the skeleton. Okay, sorry if I'm too quick, but there's a lot I'm going to do. So next, we need a database. The cool thing about LevelDB is since it's just a library, you create a database like this. And now, like once we run the server, the database is running, which is very handy for development because you can just give your code to anyone, tell them to run npm install, run the server, and everything is running. The database is running, the web server is running. They don't need to install Redis and MySQL and Mongo and everything. Okay, so first let's get to learn LevelDB a bit. LevelDB is a key value store with keys lexicographically sorted. But we're not going to use all of that. We'll just use plain keys and values for now. So you can put some data into it, or let's just do that on the REPL, where db equals prior level db, db.put foo var without the callback because we don't care, db.get foo, so.log, cool, and we get bar. And like, I literally booted a LevelDB server in this line of code. Okay, so that's basically what we can do with LevelDB. Or we can do a lot more, sorry, but that's what we do for now. So the application we're going to write is a real-time chat application. That means we need to send data from the server to the client and vice versa. And we could use socket.io and do like the event emitter style exchange of data. But for development or like for bootstrapping your app, what we could rather do is we could use a LevelDB client, like a network. We could add a network layer and start the client on the browser and use the Node.js server as the server. Like, imagine doing require Node Redis on the client. Like, so we have a client library for LevelDB, which is called multilevel. And you can use that to talk to a LevelDB over any kind of network transport. So you could use that, communicate over TCP between two nodes, or you could use that over WebSockets to communicate from browser to server. So we also need WebSockets. I'm going to use engine.io stream, which is a wrapper around engine.io. We create the engine, and we get a connection object, which I'll explain in a second. And we're going to attach the engine onto the server at /ws. And on the browser, and here comes the browserify magic, we say var engine equals require engine.io socket, var connection equals engine at /ws. Now you see why browserify is pretty cool, because we have one module that runs on the client and on the server. Oh yeah, thanks. Very good. Someone's listening. Okay. We have the connection, but we can't do anything yet, except like sending arbitrary data. So now we're going to use the connection to hook up the server, this LevelDB server, to our client thing. So we say connection.pipe multilevel.server around the db.pipe connection. Who has done something.pipe something.pipe the first thing before? Like a.pipe b.pipe a? You? Okay, so let me make this bigger. Let me explain what's going on here. So this is what you call a duplex stream pattern or a duplex pattern. This acts like a telephone. With a telephone, you have like everything you say, the other person hears, and everything the other person says, you hear. Now we say everything our client says, our server hears, and everything the server says, the client hears. We could also write it like this. Just as an example, so we currently have a.pipe, b.pipe a, which in Unix land would be this. So it's almost like Unix pipes, but you could also write a.pipe b and b.pipe a, which is equivalent. Okay, moving on. You go to the browser. We also require multi-level because that also works in the client. We say our DB is a multi-level client, and we connect the connection to a RPC stream of the DB and connect that to the connection again. Same pattern. And just for demoing purposes, let's say we expose the DB on the window object. Make build and node index.js. Yes. Oh yeah, typo. Stream. You could use Watchify or other modules to make this process work better, but 1 second. Need readme. That looks about right. 1 sec. This is the first time this happened, I swear. Like literally. Looks like the error's somewhere else. Seems like this is the problem. Oh, I hoped. Okay, let's see.
Isn't it on the server side? Program?
Oh yeah, this is wrong, but the build step is already failing. No, it isn't. Weird. Maybe I didn't save or some stupid shit like that. Cool. Oh yeah, but I uncommented all the important code. Let's see if this works. No.
Last line. I forgot closing comment. Last line.
Okay, thanks. That's also a problem. Yes. So this works. Now this should work. And we have a DB object. And if we remember on the server side we stored a bar under the key foo. So if we get foo, yes. So now in the DB object we have the exact same API as we have on the server. This is transparent. So for example, if you write a module that takes a level DB as a parameter, it doesn't care whether the module runs on the browser or on the server, or whether it's the real level DB or a client. It's just the same API. Now let's just create the chat, which is the easy part now. I have a module called enter input, which is a browser-only module, which is an input form that, when you press enter, fires an event with the data, if I remember correctly. Yes, just copy-paste, like all hackers do. And let's use a module called container-l, which handles the body on load logic for you. Let's try it out. Okay, we have something which does its thing. Okay. So when we get data from this, we say db.put as key, let's use the current date, so sorting is correct. And as value, let's use message this.value. Okay, as you noticed, this is a JSON object. LevelDB, the level up library supports that via saying the value encoding is JSON. Let's try it out. No error, very good. Oh, we're not listening for errors, but it should just have worked. This is production level code. Okay. Okay, so we are sending data to the server. Next, we need to render it on the client with live updates. Live updates are not part of LevelDB per se, but there's a module doing that. And that's why NPM is important, because with NPM, you reuse modules built for LevelDB to compose the database your application needs. You don't buy into a whole system. You say, I have LevelDB and I need this, this, and this, and this. And it's all written in JavaScript. So we need the level livestream module. We install the livestream onto the DB. Now we have this API, db.create livestream with optional parameters, and then on data, whatever. This is only available on the server now. Currently, we need to tell the client about this. So we need to write a manifest at manifest.json. When we run this, it's called write manifest, I remember. And when we look at the manifest now, it says, okay, the DB has this and those methods, and it, for example, also has the method livestream, etc. Now we go to the client, abort, require that manifest because we're using Browsify and it's awesome. And pass it to multi-level. And when we try that out, you should see there's db.create livestream. Magic. Let's just see what happens. Oh, there's a disconnection. Yes, beer is important for live coding. I have a few minutes left, so I should be able to do this. Maybe this is the problem, actually. Let's get rid of that for now. Let's clear the DB. Because the DB is literally a DB folder. And let's try again. Okay, this worked. Now let's put some data. Random dude. And now this was logged because after the client told the server to write this data, the server told the client, hey, this is the new data. So live streams work. Now we just need to render our messages. We go to the client. We use a module called level_list, which is convenient because it maps LevelDB data to DOM. And let's just copy and paste as usual. Remove all the useless stuff. Okay, we create a list around the DB, and for every row we receive, let's just create a text element and give it the row, whatever. And let's append this list to our container. Okay, we're getting object, which is great. Let's see what we have in there. Huh?
Local message.
What local message?
Message. The key is called message.
Ah, yeah, but I'm not sure if that works because we disabled the JSON value encoding, which it should work by that. Thanks, but we will. Ah, yeah, you see, turned the string into an object, which is intentional. And now I know what's wrong. Because when we enabled the JSON value encoding, we still had all data in the database, and it tried to parse it, but it was a string, not a JSON blob. So that's why it didn't work. But now we can rejoice and have happiness. Don't forget to clear your DB. And now we should see message, hey. Now just some cosmetic changes and we should be done. Roll it message. Okay. Let's do this. Hey, yo. Let's open a new window. What up, dog? So we have a real-time live chat with persistence in 20 lines of code, and I hope you learned something. Yeah, questions afterwards, I guess. Thanks.